What's up, pagan people? Drew here. Quite a while ago now, Brittany from Palm Tree Bewitchery started a tag, and at the time I didn't really feel drawn to participate. I wanted to, but it wasn't resonating in that moment. And then not long ago, Michele did a VR, and she sort of changed up the format a bit. Instead of just running through the tag the way it was presented, she decided to break it down and to look at one question or maybe a couple questions, but to take some time and to go deep into the question, instead of running down the whole tag in one video, to break it up into multiple videos. And that really resonated with me because I may or may not want to answer every question. This way I can answer the ones I want to, which I could have done anyway, really, but this idea of going deeper really resonated. Hence the title for this video being Dear Ashley, a VR to Palm Tree Bewitchery, because I want to support both of them in the way that they've done this, and I really wanted to participate. I was really inspired by the way Ashley went about it. So here we go. Dear Ashley, I'm focusing on the first question in this video. Is there anything you should have let go of a long time ago, but you're still holding on to? Now, when I first heard this question, I was like, no. But the answer is yes. The reason I thought no is because I have dealt with all the big things already, the really pronounced traumas and whatnot. I really have done deep, dark, dirty shadow work, and they aren't affecting me at this time. They have helped shape who I am, but they're not like afflicting me. They're not influencing my behavior and actions on a daily basis. They're not causing me pain anymore, that kind of thing. So I'm like, no. But after listening to Ashley go into her answer to this question, I started doing a little prodding, and I realized there is something. I have gone through different phases of my social interactions, my social relationship, friendships, things like that throughout my life. I was a little socially awkward as a child. As a teenager, I blossomed, and I was very confident and comfortable in who I was and with my friend group. And then in my 20s, I got really awkward, really awkward. I've always been the weirdo I am now. Like, me and my friends, we would talk about spiritual things in high school, and we played with Ouija boards and talked about ghosts, and like, I was all out, all open, and everything was cool. People genuinely, aliens, whatever I wanted to talk about, they genuinely were receptive, whether they agreed or not, whatever. That's just who I was, and they were just accepted that, I can't say that there has been one thing that has sparked this, but if I had to choose one thing that has sparked my social awkwardness, I would say when I was in my very early 20s, almost mid 20s maybe actually, I went out to dinner with some friends, and I think there was 4 couples, including my husband and myself. There were 3 other couples, if I'm not mistaken. And we went out to eat together, and we were hanging out. And a few of these, 2 or 3 of these people I considered to be friends, one of which a very good friend. And the rest were kind of people I was acquainted with, didn't really know, but had met, had interacted with before. And I can't remember the flow of the conversation, but at one point I remember, I don't remember my exact words, but the gist of what I said was, I think it's really arrogant for human beings to think that we are the only intelligent life form in the universe. It's so vast, and to think that the only intelligent life out there is us is just, I think it's ridiculous. I absolutely believe that there could be alien life out there, intelligent alien life out there. I was met with silence. Everyone stopped talking, turned to stare at me, and I felt like some weird protrusion was growing out of my forehead. It seemed like forever, but after a moment, they all turned back to each other and continued on a conversation as if I had never spoken in the first place. Now, I'm not a bitch, so I was still polite and cordial with everyone, but I basically didn't speak the rest of the night. I felt really, really hurt and judged. And the reason is because what goes on in here, all the stuff that happens in here, that statement was so innocuous. That was like me, for what goes on in here, that was like me saying, I'm going to plant tulips in my yard this spring, and people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, if you can't handle what I just said, if you're not okay with that, there's no way you were ever going to accept me. You're gonna look at me like I'm a nutbag if I ever try to talk to you about anything that I think is real and that really matters to me. And I completely shut down. This has only been compounded by one friendship that I've lost over the years. I didn't lose the friendship because they couldn't accept me, but they genuinely did not see me as I was. They saw me as they wanted to see me, which was a bit annoying. And it annoyed me. It didn't hurt me. But just before I started my channel, I had someone who I had been friends with for years and years and years, several years. And we were we had a spiritual group that we would meet together that I helped her run. And we were always talking about weird, far out things, and we were all like right there. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but we accept that. There were a lot of things about this woman that I don't agree with, and that I have since realized it's better for her not to be a part of my life, because I really think that these things are wrong, and I just accepted them because I loved her. But our friendship ended because I, for the first time, really laid out who I am and my thoughts about the world and how it works, and mainly darkness. And she couldn't handle it. She cannot accept me for who I am. And that was extremely painful for me. You could not accept me for the way I think and believe, who I am. The deepest, most important parts of me. And I was rejected. I have this deep, deep anxiety about opening up and being authentic and having deep, meaningful relationships with other people. I have some, but it takes years and years and years for me to get to, it takes years for me to get to that level with somebody. Unless we have a lot of intense periods of time together. We spend a lot of time together and it's very intense. And otherwise, it takes a very long time. Because I don't trust. I don't trust people. I find that I don't get treated the way that I try to treat others and that I want to be treated. Not that they treat me badly, but again, there were things about this woman that I think are very wrong when it comes to spirituality. Like, legitimately, I think that is wrong. That is not how that works. That's not how people should be. I mean, it's wrong for you to teach people that. I think it's unethical. But I love you. You're my friend, so I accept you. It's really hard just in regular social situations, but I have been in situations where I know that everybody there is just as out there as I am with their spirituality and their beliefs, and I still can't fully open to them because we've just met, even though I can hear the stuff coming out of your mouth. And I'm like, yes. It's weird because when I was in Compass Rose, it was like it was a sacred, safe space for me, the shop I worked in. I could be like whatever in there. But when I'm out in other social situations, not so much. I can be at Pagan Pride. I can be at a spiritual gathering. I was at one of my best friend's birthday party, and I knew several people that were there, and even the ones I didn't, again, the things coming out of their mouths, I'm like, yes, okay, you are out there just like me, but I still couldn't fully open to them because I just met them and I didn't know them, and I was scared. I'm like, I can do that on this camera. Like, I can talk to you guys and be fully who and actually I don't talk about all my weird out there stuff on this channel, because not because I'm afraid to, it's just that this channel is mainly paganism and witchcraft, and the stuff I'm talking about that's like really out there it's starseed and aliens. It's just out there stuff. And I do touch on it from time to time, but I just don't really get overly into it on this channel. And maybe I will one day, I don't know, but that's not what this channel is to me at this point. But I don't really feel afraid to do that even then, because I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at a little camera, and I can't see if you look at the camera if you look at me like I'm crazy on your screen. So it doesn't hurt. If someone writes me a comment that is tearing me down at all, it'll hurt for maybe a day or two at most, and I'll be over it, because in general, I don't care what the masses think about me. If they think good, great. If they don't, well, it doesn't affect my everyday life, if you get what I mean. But trying to have one-on-one relationships with real human beings in real time is very hard for me, because I always feel like they're not going to get me, and they're not even going to try. And honestly, the core of it is they're not going to accept me. You can't accept the real me. And that I find the most painful thing ever in the whole world, because I can give people pieces of me, but when I expose the creamy center, that's like the truest, most authentic form, bit of me that I don't have any control. That's who I am. It is the core essence of me. And if you don't accept it, I can't handle it. It hurts. I mean, I'll move on. But it hurts. It hurts me to no end. It is the worst pain that I've ever experienced on this earth plane, is to show someone my essence and them not to accept it. So I would love to get over that. I would love to not care, to just not care. That would be great. It's a work in progress. So that's the thing that I hold, that I've long held, that I wish that I should shed and move beyond, and that I wish I could, and that I know I will, because it's something I want to do. And I have to thank Brittany and Ashley both for putting the mirror up in front of me, because it is something that I was aware of, but I wasn't in touch with. It is something that I was pushing away. So thank you for shining a light into my darkness. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you today. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, much love and gratitude.